It's been a long time coming, but today marks a promising sign for the future of the Skate franchise. Today, EA released its latest trailer for the fourth game in the Skate series, or fifth game if you count Skate It like some sort of sicko. And most importantly, it's been revealed players will be able to jump into an early access playtest next month. Yes, really. As announced by the official account on X, quote, "We are so hyped to announce that Skate will release in early access September 16th, 2025. See you in St. Amsterdam," end quote. This early access will be available on current consoles PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S and X, but also last generation's PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, as well as PC with the EA app, Steam, and Epic Game Store. Now, if you're only familiar with the Tony Hawk brand of skateboarding games, it's hard to blame you, as it's been an astonishing 15 years since the last Skate dropped all the way back on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. But Skate 4, or Skate as it's known, looks to be an interesting blend of over-the-top action and very basic maneuvering, a world where players can leap from the sky onto buildings but still stop dead in their tracks in a brisk collision. But wherever a player goes, they won't be alone. We're seeing other skaters in pretty much every sequence, which is likely a reference to the always online aspect of this game. We learned about this requirement earlier this year, and the reception has been mixed to negative, but seeing the shared environments in action shows off the communal aspect. But given the series' steeper demands, it should be interesting to see how players land tricks without crashing into each other. Still, there's plenty of reasons for fans to be optimistic, as Skate has had a shockingly transparent development cycle so far, including a prolonged series of YouTube videos showcasing the game's progress as well as comedic gameplay. In fact, these playtests have been released in a fairly consistent cadence from August of 2022 all the way to February of 2025, which on the one hand was confusing to fans, as the alpha of a AAA game is rarely given this much exposure, but on the other hand consistently reminded players development was continuing. And that's for good reason, because during the 2010s it became a bit of a meme to ask about Skate 4 on social media, with the fandom holding on to hope that the franchise would see its return someday, which if you're not in the fandom might be a little confusing. After all, why not play one of the Tony Hawk re-releases? Well, it's been long enough that younger gamers might not remember the brief war between both series. But while Tony Hawk let players pretty much do whatever they wanted in super skateboarding arcadey gameplay, Skate was practically a simulation, and that won it over with a lot of real-life skaters, especially as the Skate franchise arguably did a better job representing authentic skate culture. Even the perspective of the game is designed to resemble the camcorder angles directors would use while filming skate tricks. It wasn't so much that people related to skateboarding were in a video game, it was that they were allowed to act weird and goofy, calling back to the days of CKY videos. Heck, the first game does a shockingly good job of representing 2007. Hold on, let me input my name on my Sidekick physical keyboard. But it was also a heck of a lot more demanding. Simple tricks would require skill, timing, and attention to detail to achieve seemingly small maneuvers like transferring from a street over a curb and onto a sidewalk. Fans were hooked on the more grounded but satisfying gameplay, with Skate 2 quickly following in January of 2009 and wrapping up with Skate 3 in May of 2010, which if you were playing games at the time was rather shocking given the commercial and critical success of the series. But Skate 3 left players with plenty to do, allowing them to interact with objects to create their own challenges, which would require plenty of practice before finally landing a trick. That sort of customization with hard, rigid physics and rules made Skate 3 a popular choice for the early boom of game streaming. And sadly, you won't find too many surviving recordings, because like I said, this was the early days of streaming and absolutely everybody was still bumping their soundtracks at full blast. In fact, the UK sales charts have shown several spikes over the past decade and a half, including a return to sales charts 4 years after launch in 2014 and 10 years after launch in 2020, proving the enduring popularity of the franchise. Which brings us back to full circle. Literally, the studio was founded for the development of Skate 4, or Skate. So what can we expect from this newest entry? Well, it's still hard to tell. We're still seeing those hard bails and crashes the series is known for, but also some pretty abstract and unrealistic settings. Of course, this is coming from a franchise that had a magical skateboard teleporting into your hands, but still, the more extreme settings don't appear to be producing superhuman skaters as featured in the Tony Hawk franchise. So we'll have to wait and see in early access in less than 3 weeks. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video, but I want to hear your reaction from the newest Skate trailer. There's a lot of comments about the graphics, but how do you feel about the gameplay that we're seeing? Will you be checking out the early access next month? Chat back in the comments below, keep clicking around here at Game Rant, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks everybody!